It's time to get on the inside. It's time for the Microphone Insider. VO news, knowledge, and nonsense. Probably a lot of nonsense. Hosted by the VO trio, Jim Fromm, Terry Briscoe, and by the hand of God, the amazing Grace Newton. How sweet the sound. This week's special guest, voice actor and coach Brad Hyland. Welcome to the inside.
Well, here we are on the inside. What's up, guys?
Hey. What's
That
going
hand
on?
of God just showed up again and dropped Grace Newton off right here. Zoof. You guys should have saw it. We're trying to get video of it, but it's like this big hand just comes swooping in and just drops her right in her chair.
I know. And
there
I have
she
back
is.
problems as it is, so what the hell?
Okay, episode 3. Third time's the charm. We know we had a little bit of issues last time, but I believe we are hardwired, fully lubricated, and ready to go. So, Terry, are you lubricated?
Yep.
Grace, have you had something to drink? Okay, you're
hydrating.
Water, yes. I always feel weird when I ask Grace if she's lubricated. Okay, well, we have a bunch of cool things happening today.
It doesn't happen that often, Jim, like you ask. So, putting that out there.
Oh, we got a great show coming up. We really do, as much as this part of it's terrible. We have a great show coming your way. 3 of my wife's favorite voice actors are on this show. So she's pretty psyched about it. Oh, hey, Peter. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, Peter.
Hey, once again, you have to click that little eCam link in order for us to see your face and things. Like Facebook user here says hot, which I think is great. Thank you. But we don't know who you are.
That means fire. Right?
Well, fire. 3 fires.
These kids today, that's what they're doing.
3 of us. And Facebook user again is saying a bunch of stuff. So once again, there's an eCam link. I don't know if one of you guys can find it on the Facebook page and post it in the link. I know there's the question. We're going to be talking about this forever, it seems, but eventually we will get there. Maybe we should have a sign-up video like we did before, Terry. The 3 of us can go on and just like on a Tuesday and just everybody that comes on, teach them how to do it. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right. So
or
while
we're
looking,
post the instructions on the page somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, make it nice and easy. But if you could, when you guys find that link on the Facebook page and put it in the comments so people can at least just click on it. It doesn't ask you for any money. It's not going to sell you anything. It's not going to sell anything of yours. Basically, what it does, it gives eCam, which is the platform that we use. Facebook gives it permission because of it's a group. It's not just my own personal page. So, Facebook user says, "Hi everyone, thanks." Facebook user is very active today. So if you guys could just click on that link when we get it up, that would be awesome. Let's get at it. We've got a pretty busy show here. So we started something new, which kind of went haywire when the whole video debacle of Dave Fennoy happened. So we had to delay things. We had the audition. Do you want to talk about it, Grace? Do you want to give the rundown?
Yeah, we held an audition for the next 4 shows teaser trailer. As in, like, this week, the guest is going to be, and we got a lot of submissions, and man, I feel so much empathy for what are the casting agents? Man, it was a tough decision, and we heard a lot of stuff. But yeah, we chose 4 winners, and the 4 winners will be teasing the next 4 shows, and the winner gets a little spotlight on our show for the show that they teased. Yeah.
Just like that. And we have our first winner right now, and we have them on a segment we like to call the Insider Spotlight, or the Spotlight Insider. I'm not sure how I did it, but let's just get at it. We have Bev Standing, my wife's #1 favorite voice actor. Bev, welcome.
Well, thank you. This was fun.
It really was. Thanks for auditioning. I think it's cool that voice actors of your experience and not knowledgeability. What's the word? Recognizability, knownability. I'm making up words as I go. Ability. But like you, Dave, Brad, Kristen Paiva, you guys are all part of the Insider. You guys are all part of the Microphone Insider, which is really cool to have you guys on the inside. So thank you for participating. And thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.
Well,
Someone
thanks for
says hi,
doing
Bev.
this.
I don't know who it is. I'm sorry.
Hi, Facebook user.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
So,
I
Bev,
think these kind of groups are great. They really are.
Cool. Terry, you got something to say?
No, I posted the link in the comments, everyone. So just look through the comments. You'll see the link there.
Actually, you posted it in our comments, but
both.
You did? Okay. Because Peter Rain put it here as well. So I'll put that down here for a second if you guys want to make some comments. Anybody have any questions for Bev? Post them in the comments.
I did forget to mention that the auditions were completely, we didn't know who it was. They were completely, what's the word? See, now I need to make up words.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. There you go.
Anonymous. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't know who was who. So yeah, that happened.
When they came in, I had my wife assign numbers to them and letters. And the numbers and letters had to do with the person that was, I gave her like a code so that we could decode it later on. So when we listened to them, we all just voted for who we thought, and we got our 4. Pretty easily got our 4. There was a lot of good competition, but the 4 that were our top 4 winners definitely rose to the top. So glad to see that. Do we announce who next week is, or just make it a surprise?
Let's make it a surprise.
All right, cool enough. All right, anybody have any questions for Bev? Please put them in the comments here. Mike, that's not really a question, Mike. He's trying to multitask meetings. Brandon Keena just wants to say hello. So what's going on with Bev? Bev, what's happening?
But Bev's busy.
Bev's busy. I see that on Facebook. You are busy. And look at those awards behind you. What's going on back there?
Those are my Read Awards. Whoop, wrong way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those are for politicals. They've just closed the early bird for the nominations for this next round. But everyone was attending SOVAs, which I have attended numerous times over the past few years. I'm also clearing my throat. Sorry. I've been nominated for the Canadian Business Award for, so I got nominated and then I got pushed through to finalist, which is kind of cool. So I'm waiting to hear about that. And then I also got voted best e-learning for 2024 from the GBI. It's a magazine. And
She's
so I guess
so
I'm
good.
heard by.
She's so good. She's nominated for awards for next year already.
I know, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. And then I won one of the top 4 for this, which was really fun because trailers are fun and promos are fun. And your direction was go have fun. So I did.
Yeah.
So, you feel this was a very safe space. So it's, it was easy to do, kind of just to whatever. I hate to say that, but it was like you could let your guard down a little bit.
Hey, Grace, can you write that down? Bev Standing says it's a safe place. That could be our logo. I think for some reason, you're not working, Grace. I can't hear you for some reason.
Yes, I will. It's a safe space. Yes,
there
I
you
will.
go. Good. All right. Well, if you guys want to get in touch with Bev, or you just want to check out some of her cool stuff she has kicking up on her website, I'm going to put your solo Bev here, so because it has your website right there. It says bevstanding.com. It's that easy.
It is. That's in all platforms. It's just Bev Standing on X, on Insta, TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok.
That is so funny.
I didn't want to ask that question. Just saying.
Well, she probably owns a quarter of it now, so good.
No, and you know what? I had so much fun. I did a duet with with Jessie, the text to speak girl now.
Oh, that's great.
And it just
that's hilarious.
it's pretty funny. So
Very cool.
We've actually met. It's she's a sweet person. So yeah.
Well, Bev, you are now ineligible to win this contest again for another year. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know.
that's okay. I'm excited to listen to the people that do end up winning your next rounds and the
Well,
other
there
three.
is only 26 shows per year, so we figure spread the wealth.
Absolutely.
Give everybody a chance to get on the show, say hello. If they have anything that they want to plug or get going. You're coming down to the States, I heard, right?
Me?
You're gonna move? Aren't you moving in with like Brad Hyland or something? I heard.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm selling my house and it hasn't sold yet. So when it sells, I've got to then find a new place to live. And I don't know where that's going to be. So I'm just going to bounce around. Anyone got a room to let me share for a couple of weeks? I will come and visit you. I will get a travel booth and maybe I'll just travel for a year.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Raleigh, North Carolina, I got you. You can use my recording space. It's
Perfect.
been vetted by JMC and Catherine Campion more recently, so
perfect. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Raleigh's beautiful.
I may
take
just
you to
do
the
that.
beach, take you to the mountains. Boom.
I'd love that. And does it snow? It snows there though.
Nope.
Oh,
Not
I'm
a
in.
single, not a single last winter. No, not a single flake. That's why I moved here.
Okay. Yeah. Grace?
4 seasons without snow. Boom.
Bomb.
There you
And I
go.
hear that Brad's house is divine. I hear it's lovely.
I got up in the morning. I sat and had my coffee and watched the deer walk across the properties, and it was just like, wow, this is heaven.
Was Brad right behind them, chasing them with a ravaging look on his face?
Wrong time of year. No.
Okay.
He was trying to put antlers on them. He was trying to recruit them.
Cool. Well, Bev, thanks for joining us. I know you're very busy. We love having you on, and we'll see you on the inside. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I have to run off to another thing, but thank you so much, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
I got to hit the right button. Hold on a second. Here we go. There we go.
There
We're back now. All right. Bev standing, everybody. Thank you, Bev. All right. Well, let's keep the show rolling because we have a lot to get to. We still have to get to my wife's second favorite voice artist, so stay tuned for that. But right now,
me.
No. Unfortunately, Grace, you did not make the cut. But don't feel too bad because neither did I.
That's all right, y'all. I had a request to do some research and talk about imposter syndrome. I know it plagues so many of us, and in my research, 3 in 5 people have it. So if you do have it and any of this sounds familiar, you are not alone. It's described as self-doubt of intellect, skills, or accomplishments. And apparently there are 4 P's. It's people-pleasing, perfectionism, paralysis, and procrastination. If any of these sound like you, it's okay. Perfectionism can actually be rebranded as something useful. Instead of worrying over tiny details, see it as being thorough. If you're experiencing procrastination or paralysis, which is something I've maybe fallen into, the procrastination, because it seems daunting, like I'm not ready or it has to be perfect, so I just put it off. Lean into it. Instead of berating yourself, to tell yourself that you were just planning your next challenge and not diving in feet first. Maybe that's just the way you approach your work. People pleasing. I mean, a lot of us artists can be people pleasers because guess what? It can also be reframed. Applaud this part of your skill set. People pleasers tend to be good communicators, empathetic, ding ding, and diplomatic. You need to remember your own needs too, but wanting everyone to be satisfied is not a bad goal. Some ways to combat imposter syndrome: self-awareness. Knowing is half the battle. Recognize these patterns in yourself. By acknowledging these tendencies, you can address them proactively. I've always said that. Once you know the exact problem, you can then attack it, head on. Have a growth mindset. Embrace the idea that learning and growth come from experience, not just success. Celebrate progress, not perfection, because perfection doesn't fucking exist, okay? Have a supportive network. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, allies who understand the challenges and can provide guidance and encouragement. And we are very fortunate to have a community that community-wide we understand each other. And so we have that at our disposal, which is awesome. I love this community. Set realistic goals. That's super important. Break down large goals into manageable steps. It reduces the pressure and fosters a sense of accomplishment. If you accomplish one little step, 2, 3, you can build momentum and go for it. Embrace imperfection. Understand that no one is flawless. Welcome mistakes as learning opportunities and stepping stones toward success. I'm going to leave you with this quote, which I thought was super freaking okay. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's what you think you are not. And that's by Dennis Waitley. Hope that helped someone. And back to you, Jim.
Back to us. Great. Yeah, Dynamite. Good information. Now, Terry, you can't understand imposter syndrome. And I saw your head going, what do you mean there's no perfection? I understand.
Terry claims that he's never had imposter syndrome. Maybe he doesn't know what it is, clearly. I don't know, man.
Maybe he just thinks he's... No, it's good. I mean, I love the confidence.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
right.
making
I
fun
mean,
of you by
3 and
any
5
means, my
have
friend.
it. 3 and
Yeah.
5 have it, so I guess you're one of the,
One of
one.
My
We're
math
just
is right.
envious. That's why we're giving you shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, listen, we got a couple people here. Peter Rain had a little clappy thing going on for you, and Paul Henson said thank you. So thank you, Paul. All right. If Terry can make it, you can too. And you know what? I told Terry the last show, I said, make a drink for us, would you? And he hasn't stopped. So we're going to make a drink, I guess. What do you got for us this week, Terry?
He's a fabulous home cook, but get us all drunk.
Yeah.
It's the season of cheer. Let's enjoy it. Today, we have a drink that I did not make myself. Our special guest today, actually created this drink himself. And that is why this drink is called the Highlander.
Hey. That's cool.
Very, very, very simple drink to make. What you need is 1 large glass with a big ice cube or a few ice cubes in it. You need 1.5 ounces of Jameson orange. I like more Jameson than that, so I have got 3 ounces. you need a 12-ounce light beer like a Modelo or a Corona or something of that nature. And you need 1 fresh orange. So what you're going to do is you're going to pour that Jameson into that glass of ice, and you are going to mix that around, swirl that around nice and good, get that nice and chilled, and then you're going to pour those 3. I mean, you're going to then add your beer. You do not mix the beer once you add it in there; it will diffuse. So then you want to slice that orange into a nice wheel and garnish that glass. And give that a couple minutes to just settle, and then you are good to go. It is nice and refreshing, and for people who love to grill, like Brad and myself, this is the perfect drink to go alongside your grill.
Just to show that Terry actually made it, there it is.
The Highlander, ladies and
the
gentlemen.
Highlander. We'll have to ask Brad
really good. Oh, man. That's good. I'm
we'll
going to be in
ask
trouble.
What's that?
I said, I'm going to be in trouble.
Facebook user says, love the name. Must be someone that knows Brad. Oh, Tabitha
We have a lot. Oh, there's Tabitha. She
There's
figured
Tabs.
it out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Facebook users in the chat. Can we tell people what to do? So
yeah, I'm actually looking at it.
Name can be...
I'm actually looking at it on my phone right now. If you go to the either click on the link that Peter Rain put up, and Peter, if you do it again, please put it up again. I'd appreciate it. But if you go to the actual Microphone Insider page, like the profile page, and on the link right there, if you expand the text, there is the link right there just to click on. Ecamm with 2 M's .live /23EB2C. Actually, I can probably find it again here from Peter. But here you go. Cool. So there you go. There it is right there. and you can click on it on the Facebook page. All good? All good. All right. Well, our guest this week, I think all of us have maybe put down a drink with him once or twice that I know of anyhow. A few of you have trained with him. We all adore him as Santa Claus with the elf on the shelf. What's the best tuna? Wicked tuna. No, Star Kiss. There you go. Yeah. We have Charlie Tuner in the house with us as well. Please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm just saying things because I can't find the right screen. Put your hands together for Brad Hyland. That's not Brad. See, I found the wrong screen anyhow. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, there he is.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Brad, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate
What's
you
up, Brad?
taking the time out.
Thank you very much.
Did you notice the color scheme we put together for you here?
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. It's kind of cool. It looks like my training PowerPoint slides and everything. It's very nice.
There you go. Well,
Excuse me while I have a sip of a Highlander.
There you go. Mine's not a Highlander, but it'll do.
Thanks,
So if you guys have any questions for Brad, please type them in the comments. If you can put the word question or a Q in front of it, it makes it easier for me to see it. Plus all the interweb chatting that goes on with you guys, which I used to be a part of on the Dave Fennoy show. Never again will I, because I understand what he goes through now. But yeah, if you guys have something you want to ask Brad, feel free. I know Brad. I'm not going to say your shtick, but I mean your thing, your teachings and the knowledge that you give out has to do a lot with the pay to plays. And I know a lot of people are kind of negative about the pay to plays. I know I've been down that road myself, where I've just given up because you audition, and then by the time you get the audition notice, by the time you get it in, they've already reached the maximum people for the audition, or you're like number 63 out of 100 at that point. What's the sense?
There's 100 reasons to say it doesn't work for you, but there's also about 200 reasons that it can work for you. But
without giving away the secret sauce, can you give us a little insight on that?
Yeah, I help people get better traction on casting sites, but not just casting sites. My whole training isn't just casting sites. It's learning to ignore your microphone and your equipment and trust where you are, and trust your space and trust yourself, so you can just be who you are and not my shtick, if you want to call it that, is quit trying to sound like somebody you think somebody else wants you to sound like. And that's sort of a common thing that people struggle with. And a lot of people struggle with that. But
fair enough.
Yeah, it's there's a whole bunch of magic for casting sites. And I could sit here and talk for 2 hours on it, but you're swimming in a very competitive pond, a bunch of hungry fish, and most of those fish, or many of them, are full timers. So they get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, and the first thing they do is open their emails and start cranking away. So,
right. We have a question here from Paul Henson. Paul, I'm going to make this so we can just all stay here. Give me a second. Here we go.
No problem. Hi, Paul Henson, by the way.
Paul wants to know, is there a time of year where auditions are slow due to the holidays or in between seasons in the ad world as far as P2P goes?
The funny thing about this is, yeah, you'll find a slowdown here and there, especially, between right after Thanksgiving and until after the new year. But Voice 123, Bidalgo, Voices, they all have voice buyers from all over the world, and those people are working all the time, and they're just like me. I'm working all the time too, and it never stops. It may slow down a little bit, but the great thing about being trained and prepared and ready for casting sites, don't jump into a casting site to practice or see if you figure out how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get ready and you got to get good, and then you can do casting sites. But often I have a tracker that I use so when I have a day when I'm just going to audition, I'm not coaching anyone and I don't have any jobs to voice, Terry, do you know how many I try to do in a day? Remember I told you. Do you remember? Okay, he doesn't remember. But I'll try to do 20 to 30 in a day.
Wow.
And I know people, some good friends of mine that are booking a shit ton of work. And when they have auditioning days, they'll do 40 or 50 auditions in a day. And it's not a whole bunch of times just poking and hoping and throwing shit against the wall. It's broadcast ready, perfectly done, well executed, timely, out the door auditions. And then for me, if I do 20 in a day, every one of them, when I hit send, I'm like, I'm so booking that job. There's no way they're not high. That's exactly how I feel about everyone. It's perfect for me. I don't do anything that I can't do. I'm not going to do stuff I don't think I can crush.
Right.
But I do it out the door 4 or 5 minutes on an audition, and then it's like on to another one. And I don't worry about it because there's only one reason when I'm confident and I did a great job that they don't hire me. What do you know what that reason is? If somebody doesn't hire you for an audition that you send in to a casting site?
It's just not the voice that they were looking for. That's all.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you
There's
suck.
so many reasons.
It doesn't mean you suck or your audio was bad. It just means they're going like this. Nope. Click.
Next.
Nope.
Yeah.
Click. No. And they wanted a piece of fish and I'm a ribeye. I don't care. I'll just keep doing it till they find somebody that wants a steak because I'm a steak. That's what I am. I'm a steak.
Yeah. I've been called a mistake, but whatever.
You're a bone-in ribeye.
Yes.
Filet mignon. Okay.
Yes.
Bone-in ribeye. My kind of guy. Very cool.
Steak. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question myself that just occurred to me. When you send off 20 to 30 auditions, and one of them might you send it, forget it, right? That's what we're all taught. But if someone emails you or contacts you back off of a pay to play, do you scramble to find which audition that was? How do you organize?
Oh,
you send out 20 and one. Do they have a reference number for the audition? I don't even know. How do you even?
I know every job that I've sent out, and I have a copy of it in the folder for that source that I did. So I have folders set up for everything that I auditioned for, and I have this huge list of things that I auditioned for: casting sites, all my agents, production houses, people that have hired me in the past, and I have a folder for everything. So just as an example, my December Voice 123, I have a folder, December Voice 123 auditions. And in there is every one of those jobs named the way that the customer names it. So it would be like Huggies, and then I put my name, or trains, put my name, bus station, put my name. So when somebody hires you or is interested, they link back to the job anyway. They say, hey, I loved what you did on X job, and they put it in the thing there. And then I can quickly go to it and devise what I'm going to do next.
Cool. Okay. I mean, that's organization. I feel like a lot of maybe new talent don't really know how to organize their workflow that way. So
yeah, my advice to everyone is organize your workflow now if you're just getting started, and have a set way that you do everything and save everything. Because when you get busy, like if I book 4 new jobs in a day and I'm working on the ones I booked yesterday, and I'm doing this and I'm the coaching and training, and I have to know exactly what people are going to need. And often you'll get a real chink in the system, because someone will email and go, hey, Brad, thanks for the great job you did last June on this job. We've changed the dates and the amount of units we've sold and an address. We need you to do a pickup. Can you tell me how much the pickup is? If you charge, how much, and when can we have it? So you have to be able to go back to the job you did, find the exact file, click on it, and analyze what needs to be done, and tell them the price. And so it's just like boom, 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 if you have it all organized.
That was one of the first things that you worked with me on, because my desktop was a mess when and you said, no, we're gonna do this: create folders, get your workflow right, So you can be more efficient and get all these auditions out and know where they are when you get called back.
And if you guys are working on Macs, you don't want to bog down your desktop anyhow, because that will slow down your computer if you have a lot of photos and videos and things on your desktop. So store them in your documents. Saves a lot more with your RAM or whatever the case is. I'm not a computer guy, you know.
No, of course you're not.
No, of course I'm not.
So
you have
Brad,
a question? If you have a question for Brad,
Yeah.
sorry, Grace, hold on once. If you have a question, just please put it in the chat and we'll pull you up, okay? Grace?
Yeah, so you have the most unique approach to slating that I've ever heard. And I want to ask you if you will share what it is, when and why you utilize it, and, you know, you're a success story from it.
I'm going to tell you that, yes, I do have something I call the secret slate, but I'm not going to share it publicly here because it's something that I share with my students one-on-one, and it's only for a specific usage and a reason. And it is never for an agent job, because you have to follow your agent's protocols for your slating. It's only for casting sites, but it is cool. And it's like if you want to learn more about it, message me and I'll talk to you if you want to work with me. But it's like one of those little secret things. I think you heard about it through a training you were attending with me.
Yeah, I've attended a couple of workshops. Okay, cool. How's that for a teaser, y'all?
Yeah, thanks,
It is
Grace.
pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Let me get my PayPal and send you something.
I was like, stop.
It's in the mail.
So I've never heard anything but positive things about your coaching. What is your favorite aha moment with one of your students, when you could just tell it finally clicked?
That's a great question, Grace.
I'm sure there are a lot.
There are a lot. And there's some really great coaches out there, and we all know who they are. And some of them will have made me cry for reasons, and they know who they are.
I know who one of them is.
Were you in that class? No.
I was not, but the two other thirds of the VO trio were.
Yeah, that's still sort of a high water mark. Thank you, Tina Marasco.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
wherever you are. Yeah, but she pulled some special stuff out of me in that class, and I'll never ever forget what happened there. And if you want to hear that story, you can message me and I'll tell you that story personally.
Or ask me and Terry. We'll tell you how he bawled like a baby. No worries. That was a very emotional class for all of us. Terry and I were both in that class, and that was a class that was probably the most talented people that I've ever worked with all at one time.
Will you clarify where, when, how that class was?
It was VO Atlanta last year in a breakout session with Tina and
Tina Marasco. Yep.
Yeah, and I had sort of pushed myself to not. I was at the end of the line, and it was going long, and I had worked with her one-on-one several times, so I was going to give myself an out. And
she wouldn't let him.
She didn't let me, which is fine. And I happened to pick the one that, if I was going to do it, was going to be the hardest one for me. And it's a long story, but basically I got emotional doing my read, and I backed out of the read. I quit on it just because I don't love, crying in front of 12 other adults in a room. Unless it's a funeral or something. And so I backed away from them. Terry was right there. He was right beside me. He was on the end of the table nearest the podium area. And I backed away and sort of made a joke and did some shadow boxing with Terry, so it would take me out of the mood. And she's like, no, you can't do that. You are not going to do that. And she made me get back up, and she said, if you back out of this, I'm going to come kick you in your shins. And everybody had a fun laugh. And then she did something at the beginning of the read to get the thing set up with the who you talking to, why. And it was so genuine and so real. And then when I hit that spot in the script again, I didn't let myself back away. I embraced the emotion and the catch in my throat. And I can almost have it right now talking about it. And I got through the read and I looked up and she was like this.
We all were like that.
She was staring at me and she had tears running down her face. And then she didn't say anything. She just walked up and hugged me. And I felt
I love it.
her tear on my cheek because she was so emotional. And then I looked over and everybody was crying in the room. Every single person.
I'm rocking on the floor in the fetal position, saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy."
It was
Spreading
really
ranch dressing all over yourself.
a special time. And if you ever want some incredible coaching, Tina is. I mean, she's so good, and her VO library, that her coaching library that she sells, is the best bargain on the planet. So anyway, that was the story there. But so back to your question, whenever I have a moment when I'm helping somebody, and it's not always just the women, sometimes the guys get a little bit emotional too, but when they realize after the second or third session with me and we're working, and they stop trying to sound like somebody they think they need to sound like, and they're just being themselves, and they connect with the story, and they're legitimately talking to the one person that they're talking to in specific. And then when they're done, and I'm like, did you just feel what you just did? And I get goosebumps when they do it, and it makes me emotional. And then I've had people realize what they just did, and then they're quiet for a minute, and they look, and they're like going like this off to the side, and like, are you okay? Are you okay? And it's really a release. It's a release and a relief when they realize I don't have to crush my soul to be a voice actor. I can just be myself and tell a story in a unique way, the way I would tell a story to somebody I love. And when you do that and you get to witness that and guide somebody through that, it's very special, Grace. That's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. We're always told to bring our you, bring your uniqueness. Because bring your you, everyone else is taken. I think, is that a Scott Britt quote? I can't remember who I'm quoting, but everyone else is taken. Be you and bring your you. It's a very valuable lesson.
I didn't invent it, but I do have stickers now that have,
there you go,
my catch saying on them.
Yeah, you just bring you.
I'm going to give out in Atlanta when people attend my
that's
session.
awesome.
Speaking of Atlanta, I'd be remiss if I didn't get this information out. Early bird tickets end tomorrow.
Yep.
And there will not be any other discounts going on. So if you're thinking about going to Atlanta, get your tickets while you can. It's at voatlanta.me, I believe, is the website. Just do a search for VO Atlanta, but the session ends tomorrow. So you're doing the early bird tickets end tomorrow. So you're doing a breakout session, or
yeah, I'm gonna do a couple breakouts and a couple of X sessions and hopefully a panel or two.
I took your class last year.
Somebody asked me to be involved with the Hispanic track they're going to have. I'm going to be part of external listen and give feedback. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we have some questions from our Facebook people, and this is what it's really all about. So let's.
I do want to say a Facebook user said Santa, and it reminded me of Elf. I know him. So thank you for that little chuckle, Facebook user.
He's right there.
Yeah, Santa. I know him.
Was that
everybody sends me all the crooked Elf on the Shelf shit that happens out there?
What about Spock on a? No, forget it. Facebook user, hey, I think it was Jessica. I was looking on my phone. You cannot click on that link on your phone. You have to do it on a desktop, and then when you go to your phone later on, it'll have the permissions. Just so you know.
I see all the questions on my phone right here.
I do love this question. What is the story behind how and when Brad got into VO? Love this story.
Let me pull that one up. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. I'm so sorry. I jumped ahead.
It's a very fluid show.
Sorry, Facebook user. I didn't mean to jump on that. Yeah, tell me.
You want me to answer that, or is there something else you want me to answer?
Yeah, go. Let's save the story for just a bit, because we all know the story, sort of. We'll get to it shortly. Okay. Let's get a couple. Sharon Beavan, she's an ambassador. Okay. Here we go. This is the question that I wanted to get to from a listener.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
offered to
My
hop on
bad.
a call with a potential client to discuss a project, the rate, etc., what is your approach or strategy?
Um, I that's something I do with every single person that hires me, and it's something I teach in the first lesson that I do with people. And I've done it since before COVID. Before everybody had to get on Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
Because I often will give more than one take, and it'll be a distinctly different take for a reason. And if they just say, "Hey, Brad, we love what you did. We want to hire you," I don't want to just go, "Okay, good. I'll have it for you right away." I want to meet them and I want to talk to them face to face. And there's so many things I go over that I teach people also how to do this on their own. But I always get them on a Zoom and I ask them the specifics of why they chose the read that I sent. And then I want to go through the timing, and I want to go through, do you want raw audio, processed audio? Um, is there music you can all those things? And it turns into a really fun, friendly conversation. And I always try to do Zoom, and it's about 80% of the time that people jump on a Zoom, either right then or later that day or the next
Mm-hmm.
day. Sometimes it's phone call, or sometimes they just, "Hey, we need this right away. Can we do it?" And I'll Zoom with you, tomorrow. And that's what I do. But the specific question was, the rate and what's your approach to what was my approach to what? What's the question
When you hop on
specifically?
a call with a potential client to discuss the project, the rate, what is your approach or your strategy for doing that?
I always, a lot of times I know what the rate is because they posted it. Or
Mm-hmm.
if say on voice 123, if I don't like the budget that they put and there's a choice, I will select to be determined, and I won't put a budget in. And
Mm-hmm.
I will give them enough of a read so that if I know they want my voice and they want to talk to me about it, then they got to communicate with me to find out what my rate is. And one of the first things I always ask them, if they say, "I need to know how much your rate is," I say, "Well, I'd love to know what you typically budget for this kind of work." And if they say, "Oh, I don't know," I'll say, "Well, have you hired people before?" "Yeah, we hired people." "Well, what did you budget for them before? What did it end up?" And you sort of can back politely and nicely into where they're comfortable. If they have no idea, I'll share the GVAA price guide with them and I'll walk them through it and let them see what the prices are. But the key is just don't get excited and do a job because you got booked and it's bad rates and bad usages. Walk them through and share, and often you can leverage yourself into a better rate for that way. So that's
Okay,
what I do.
fair enough. That was actually a question from Janice Hunter. She posted there. So,
Hi, Janice. Thanks. Good question.
okay, what's now in the queue? Sorry about that, Grace. It was just queued up weird. That's all. What's the
No
story
worries.
behind how and when Brad got into VO?
Oh, well,
I mean,
it's
you started this after you retired, right? Like in your late 60s?
wrong.
No?
No, no, um, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the stop motion, every year it's on. When
Yes.
I was a kid, I didn't even know about voiceover, but I wanted to be the voice of these things. And then in high school, I was sort of the funny guy, and I did voices and accents, and the same thing in college. And it's about um, 37, 37 years ago, a friend of mine, this was right as digital was happening, and he said, "You should do voiceover." And I said, "What's voiceover?" And he explained it to me. And I said, "Man, that sounds great. I want to do voiceover." So it was almost 40 years ago. And then another 6 months or a year went by, and another person I worked with said, "Oh man, you should do voiceover." Actually, in Towson, they're doing some seminar thing for people that want to be voice actors. So I made a beeline to that,
Go Tigers.
and and I attended the session, and I connected with a local producer, and I worked for 2 years on training, one-on-one master classes and demo, getting ready for a demo. And I created my first demos back when they were on a DAT, if anybody remembers DATs, and then CD. And I actually started to get some traction with work locally, but I would have to take a vacation day to go do a $300 job, and um, it was just too hard. So I tabled it. And then I talked about it all the time. I was still doing little trainings here and there. And then um, in 2015, the company that I worked for, the big landscape national company, the family sold the company and it became a different entity. We were doing the same kind of work, but it just wasn't the same. And Kathy, we were on a bicycle ride, and I was always talking about voiceover and how badly that's what I wanted to do. And I hated snow removal. I managed 80 people and 25 contracts. It just was awful. She stopped her bicycle and said, "You've got to do this. You have to throw this away and do this because you have this many great years left, and I'll support you and help you." And I quit. I got my knees replaced, and then I quit and started full time in April of 2016. And I took all the knowledge that I had from before. I knew I could do it. I knew I was going to be good, and just started kicking in doors. So
Nice.
I just started my eighth year full time.
I want to ask this question from Steve Ward in the audience. Wants to know what would you suggest? How do you suggest getting over being intimidated by the tech side of VO?
Well, great question. And all I can tell you is that I'm the biggest goober on the planet when it comes to tech. The biggest. Well, maybe not the biggest, but
I can attest to that. He was amazed by the little video that we put together for the show, which
I just said that, Jim. I really wasn't.
You were just making me feel good.
I was
Thanks.
just making you feel good. No, but
Jim's ego does not need to be inflated anymore. So don't do that in the future.
I use Logic Pro for my DAW, and I have a great computer set up, and I have a nice screen. I have a really nice studio now. But when I get in trouble, it's guys like Patrick Kirchner, Mike McGonigal, and Umberto Franco, who are my saviors. And all three of them, if they hear this at some point, they'll know. But and when I ask for their help, they'll do a Zoom and share a screen, and they'll take over. And then Umberto's like, let me help you. Just be quiet. Give me your finger. Okay. Push this button right here. Now push this button right here. And he shows me what I need to do and saves my ass every time. Same thing with Patrick. Same thing with Mike McGonigal. Actually, I have Mike on retainer. I still have a 30-minute session that I can just, nice. I just know I have it in case I need it. Because if something goes wrong, like if my Source Connect doesn't work,
yeah,
I go, hey, can you hop on a Zoom and help me? And 10, 15 minutes later, we're done. We're back up.
Jeez. I just found out recently that Mike lives 2 towns over from where I'm at.
Cool.
2 towns away.
Yeah. And I love having people that are smarter than me with something and just relying on them. And that's the other part of my business is I do what I love to do. And when it's something that I suck at, I get help from somebody else. And that's what I do with marketing. And, so.
Brandon Keener. I have so many VO related questions, but I really want to know Brad's favorite whiskey to drink neat.
Brandon is here in Raleigh with me. So hi, Brandon.
I would have to say, wow, this is a really tough one.
I lived in Louisville for 8 years, so your answer matters.
Well, no, I love a lot of just the regular shelf brands like Crown. I love Crown. Jim Beam. I love some of the really expensive single malt stuff like Lefroy and some other just and I guess one of my favorites is Blanton's. Claire.
Terry, I see you nodding. Terry knows all about Blanton's, that's for sure.
Yeah. Claire, man, Claire, if you ever hear this, she introduced me to Blanton's. The first one we had was like at 1 a.m. down in Atlanta. And I saw the bottle with the cool little horse on the top. And I was like, oh, I need I need to try that.
I need that in my life.
But Blanton's is pretty special.
Awesome. Shell. Hey, Shell.
Hey, Shell.
So our next question is
Yeah.
from Showreel. Any advice as one goes into talks for the first time with representation?
Yeah.
Good question.
Everybody's scrambling for agents. And oh my God, I'm nobody unless I have an agent. But I'll tell you, I have a great living and income, and about this much of it is from my agents. The rest of it is what I develop on my own. And the best way is for you to be really good and have a nice body of work to point to and good demos and good training, and then research what agent, what representation you want, learn who is on their roster and how you fit in specifically, because especially now, if you go to an agent and say, I want to be on your roster, and they may have 25 people just like you. And it's not that they don't want you, it's just they don't need you because they have other people that are
They
similar.
have that voice print, yeah.
Sure.
Follow up from Shell. I have Powers 2 Swallows in my hand right now.
Ah.
And Facebook user, not sure who, try Squirrel, a peanut butter whiskey.
Squirrel.
Well, holy shit, I love peanut butter. And if somebody poured me some peanut butter whiskey, I would taste it.
I tell you, I've had peanut butter whiskey. I forget the brand name. But you put that with hot chocolate.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Reese's, whatever.
Yeah. Or you take some and you chill it with a little bit of Chambord peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I think that's too highfalutin for me.
Jelly shot. I have one non-voiceover related question for you.
Okay. Yeah.
You and I have a lot of things in common, but I would say the thing that is most near and dear to our hearts that we have in common is we both love grilling.
Yes.
So I want to know, what is the best tasting thing to have ever jumped off your grill hot?
Well, hopefully it was dead first and it wouldn't jump, but yeah.
And hopefully she's not listening and going to sue us. So go ahead.
Hey-o.
I would say it's either my barbecued ribs, because I'm very passionate about how I make them, and I don't smoke them for 24 hours. And I have a very specific way I do them, and they're fabulous because I don't like ribs where you pick up and the meat falls off the bone. I like to be able to take a bite and have it, have a little chew to it. My barbecued ribs, and the other thing is venison tenderloin medallions wrapped in bacon that were marinated overnight, and then I grill them, and they're some of those most amazing steak I've ever eaten, because the venison tenderloin it's not gamey. It's not like it's not like a haunch or something. And I've had people that say, oh no, I don't know, thanks, no venison, forget it. And they have a bacon wrapped venison tenderloin medallion and cooked perfectly medium rare, and they put it in their mouth and they're like,
yes, please. Sign me up.
Huge fan
you shot this?
I'm coming to your party now.
I harvested that, and I did that whole thing myself.
I'm accepting the invite. I'm coming to your party now.
Okay, yeah, I'll make it for all three of you are invited, and we'll have it.
All right,
very cool. I wanted to ask you, who have you coached with, and what is your best aha moment or takeaway with any of your coaches?
Well,
I'm always impressed when I show up to the same training webinar and Brad Hyland is in the room, and it really gives credence to the thing we've all heard. Even my coaches have coaches. This is a career where you never stop learning. And even my coaches have coaches. So when Brad Hyland is in a webinar, I'm like, okay, he's still hustling, and that's cool.
I hustle my ass off, and it's just like anyone else. Tiger Woods has a coach with him all the time.
Yep.
I'm no Tiger Woods, not even in voiceover, by the way. But training and learning something new is really special to me. And I learned in business, and the ownership of the company that I started with, they were very passionate about being a learning organization, constant learning, constant improvement, and being able to measure your improvement, not just say, "Oh, I took a training, I must be good now." No, how do you measure how you learned and what's different? Um, I I'll tell you, here's one of my secrets, and you can all steal this. If you can't either afford the time or the money for some of these online trainings, like Ann Ganguza, the VO Peeps she's got amazing training things that she puts out there. If you can't make the time to be a reader in that, or you're too nervous, then pay for the audit. Pay the $49, audit the 3-hour training, and pay attention and write notes and listen to the feedback people are getting, and put yourself in the place of the person reading. And what you learn is worth every cent. And that's a lot of what I do. My best coaching
Same.
I've trained with Kay Bess one-on-one. I call her my VO whisperer. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
Tina Marasco, I've talked about. She's had my high water mark when she made me cry in front of everybody.
Love Tina.
Dave Walsh is just an amazing high level coach. Dave Fenoy, all these people are
Dave.
The next level from, they are like on the mountain top. And when I
They've
get a chance to train
ascended.
with and J. Michael Collins too. I mean, he's like a really good friend of mine, and I'm an associate coach for his stuff, but he's never given me bad advice, and he's always been there with
True.
coaching tips for me.
Hey, let me roll through a couple of these comments just very quickly. I want to keep people engaged. Just watch, and you will still learn. Absolutely, I learned a lot. I learned a lot because you think about it, you're only reading for about 15 minutes out of that 3 hours. You know, so the other 2 hours and 45 minutes, you're soaking it in. So if you don't want to drive, then if you don't want to, if you don't have to read and you don't have the cash, by all means. Steve Ward says he's inviting himself to our party, guys. We're going to have a VO trio vote on that off camera. We'll get back to you, Steve, okay? Venison
I'm bartending
jerky.
and I'm grilling, so you're covered.
Venison jerky is one of my favorite snacks, Brandon says.
Yep.
Brandon likes the venison. He's all over here. What is Mike Cunningham, who's triple tasking tonight, by the way? He's working, listening to us, and he's conversing with Carly as well. But
what's up, Mike?
Let's see, Tabitha. What does she have going on? No spiny lobster. And she said it, lobster. That's why I said lobster, because she spelled it like lobster. So, what else we have here? Anything else? We had Steve Ward had another question or two. I want to get down the bottom here. Oh, Tabitha also says she has 3 agents and has not booked with any of them as of yet. So, Steve, where are you? Here you go. Looking back on your 8-year plus career, what advice would you give your day one self to be set on a great path to succeed? That's a great question.
It really is.
Don't begin with the end in mind with everything that you do. Everything you do, think about, what is this going to do? What is it going to lead to? And what's the end game? What am I going to do? So don't get bogged down if it takes longer, or is a little more money than you thought, or if it's more harder than you thought. You have to begin with the end in mind for everything. And I think that getting trained and getting confident is the path to doing whatever you want to do in voiceover. Because I don't train people how to market. I don't train people how to do technical stuff. I only train people on mic and how to get more leverage with booking. But getting the training to do everything the best way that you can. And when you step into the ring, when you decide you are in 100%. You're not like, oh, I'm dabbling in voiceover, I'm a newbie. you get trained until you pull that lever and you are a voice actor. And then if you book a job, you get the same rate that I would get, or Jim, or Terry, or Grace, or anybody, or J. Michael Collins, or anyone. You have to be good, because there are hundreds of thousands of people
that are great
in this game that are really good, and they're just doing anything they can to get ahead.
All right, we're coming just north of that 9 o'clock hour, East Coast time. Grace, did we ever come up with a TMI bonus question for Mr. Hyland? I know we had 2 or 3 wrapping around there, and I think at this point he's been drinking, so we can ask him any one of those 3.
You can ask me anything. Doesn't mean I'll answer it.
Man.
No fun, Brad.
I had
bring it. I dare you. Bring it.
Don't ask the urination one. Ask anything but the urination one.
Oh, I'll talk about urination. No problem.
Urination, myonation.
Now I feel safe to ask the urination one. But yeah, I mean, I just have to ask: would you ever bang an elf?
Would I ever bang an elf? Yeah, a hot female elf, I guess, if she was married to me.
And there it is. Oh, love it.
If she was married to me. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Brad Hyland. Yes, thank you, sir. He would bang an elf, but only if they were married. So, Brad, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Love it. Love it.
And we're going to plan a weekend where the 3 of us might just show up at your door, or maybe we'll let you know first so you can be prepared for us.
Yeah, let me know. And for sure,
there's
Grace,
no preparation for us.
Yeah.
Grace and Terry can come because they're pretty local. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, I just hop on my wife's private jet and we'll be down there. Don't worry about it.
Just make sure you bring her, though. Okay?
I know, because she loves you. I know, you're her second
I love
favorite
her.
voice. Yeah, you're her second, and Terry's her third. So go figure. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Brad.
Take care.
All right. Well, oh, geez. What happened to my head?
Well, your fedora's the star anyway, so that's all that matters. And the Nava button helps.
Would I ever bang an elf? Okay.
It's TMI, man. Prepare yourself for
my question for you, Grace, is would you ever bang me?
Oh, Santa.
Nice.
My daddy issues aren't that bad, so
not yet anyhow. Jeez. All right, listen, we're back after the holidays, but just before the new year, Thursday before the end of the last Thursday of the year, 12/28, we're going to be with Nava co-founders, president, and VP respectively, Tim Friedlander and Karen Guilfrey. Yes, so very excited about that. We're going to get a recap of what I'll call their first year. I mean, their 1-year anniversary was November, so we'll call it, their first inaugural year to see what happens. And man, they got a lot accomplished in 1 year.
Yeah, they did.
And they have a lot planned for next year too. So this is one you don't want to miss as we recap 2023 with Nava and find out what they have coming up. So
get the inside scoop on what's going on in 2024.
The inside scoop. Hey, we should do some things with that insider name. That's kind of cool.
You know?
What does your shirt say? Oh.
All I want for Christmas is you, Jim. What can I say?
All right. See ya. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time on The Inside.
Bye.